taxes for freelancers is a very tricky subject, right? Because think about it. You're not a conventional employee, but you still have a tax obligation. So the difference is that employees pay their taxes automatically because their employer pays it on their behalf. It's through something called, when you look at a payslip, pay, or pay as you earn. All right, now here's a quick disclaimer, guys. I might be in the legal profession, but I am not a tax practitioner. I'm not a licensed tax practitioner. So please make sure that you seek professional help and professional advice if you have any follow-up questions after this video, after watching this video. This video is based on 2 featured comments. The first one was by Clarise Kylander, and Clarise says, please can you make a video on taxes for freelancers? The second was by Mathe, who said, question, what is % tax filed from freelance work? Thanks. Now, if you'd like your comment to be featured, be sure to ask either a freelancing, business, entrepreneurship, or even South African law, not criminal, just commercial or transactional law related question. Now, here's a confession. When I was ideating this video, I was tempted to talk pretty technically about the Tax Administration Act and how it differs from the Income Tax Act. And the Income Tax Act is the one that applies to provisional taxpayers. I was even going to take you through SARS's schedules and give you their wordy definition. Thankfully, I remembered that this is YouTube and simple is better on YouTube. So subscribe and like this video if that's your style. Let's get started. So how do taxes work for freelancers? Now, in the Republic, I'm referring to the Republic of South Africa. A freelancer is what we call a provisional taxpayer. Now, why is that? Because you as a freelancer receive your income from more than one source. So if you receive your income from more than one source, it is not considered remuneration. So you are a provisional taxpayer. So you will need to register on the South African Revenue Services portal as a provisional taxpayer. Now, moving forward, I'm going to refer to the South African Revenue Services as SARS, if that's okay. So how do you register as a provisional taxpayer? I'm going to give you the steps. So step 1, you go to SARS's e-filing website. The URL is www.sarsefiling.co.za. Then you register. You request an IRP6 return. Then you make your submission. You make your payments. It's even better if you're already registered with e-filing. Some banks let you do this, so see if your bank can help you register for e-filing. And another really cool thing is that in the beginning, you won't actually be liable for any payments until you reach a threshold. So please register for your tax payments today. So when should you pay your taxes? As a provisional taxpayer, you can expect to pay up to 3 provisional tax payments in the financial year. The first provisional tax payment has to be made within 6 months of the start of the year of assessment. Year of assessment? Yeah, that's when SARS will audit your declaration, to oversimplify, right? Now, there are year of assessments that start in March. So that means SARS will expect your payment on the 31st of August. If by any chance the 31st of August falls on a weekend or maybe a public holiday, then SARS will expect you to make your payment before the 31st. So on the last business day before the 31st. Then your second provisional payment has to be made before the last day of the year of assessment. Now again, if we say that the year of assessment is March, then you should make your payment on the last business day of February. So the third payment, that one's voluntary. And this is the one that's paid on the last business day of September, or within 6 months of the year of assessment. And those are the breaks. Here are some frequently asked questions, as in questions that I always receive in my DMs about taxes. Do I need to charge my clients VAT or VAT or value-added tax as a freelancer? No. Only VAT registered vendors need to do that. all you have to do, doesn't matter where you're working as a freelancer, you just issue a normal invoice, or if you took my advice and you're working on a job board like Upwork that generates reports for you and can turn them into spreadsheets, then you just have to keep those reports for e-filing. Second frequently asked question is, what percentage do you put away for taxes? Well, some freelancers put away, as in save, between 20 and 30% of their monthly earnings. Now I, because I'm a sucker for pain, put away 40%. A fellow freelancer actually put away 20% in a 32-day account. So she did this like every single month until it was time to file. And when it was time to file, she actually received a lump sum refund. And it was so much that she was able to go on a vacation with it. So it's a very good thing to be owed by SARS and not to owe SARS. Now, when should you register as a provisional taxpayer? That question, I hope you're not asking that question right now. You should register from the moment you become a freelancer. The minute you start freelancing, that's when you register. So what happens if you haven't registered yet? Register today and declare your current income. So what if you receive what's deemed exempt income? Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a provisional taxpayer. It will depend on a couple of factors. Two main factors are the amount that you received as well as your age. So if you're over the age of 65, for instance, so you'll really have to speak to a tax practitioner about that. But exempt income or interest income, you might still be liable for taxes for that as a provisional taxpayer. Now, if you'd like to join our small, it's more than 100 members now, but it's still small, but supportive community of freelancers from all around the world, be sure to click on the link in the pinned comment down below. Our community is growing, but it's still a secret. Now, every now and then I'll host a training and I'll help the community members overcome certain freelancing hurdles. And it's also nice to know on a personal level that you're not alone after all. Now, as for how I pay my taxes, here's a pro tip. Personally, I've got a lot going on, right? And if you're like me, become a member of taxtim.com and let them take care of your tax obligations. Their packages start at around 400 Rand per month. Once you're a member, you can also actually ask their tax practitioners some of the questions that you may want to ask me, but I'm not a tax practitioner, so you can't ask me. P.S. Tell them that Baluseng sent you. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye, everyone.